Are you planning on racing Barrelman in Niagara Falls? Well, if so, this is a video for you because in it I've got not only new up and coming coach in Canada, I've also got he's also a Barrelman finisher and he's going to talk exactly from his experiences all about the swim, transition, the bike, the run to get you the best race experience you can get. But who are we? Um, my name is Coach Steve or Steve Moody from Dublin, Ireland. I am an Ironman U certified coach. And more recently, I'm a YouTuber, which means that I can be recognized on the street. No, hasn't happened yet. But what I do is I do race reviews of 70.3 and full distance races around the world. But how do I do that? I do that by reaching out to my really cool connections of people who I have either coached, I have raced against, I have been on whatever conferences, etc. And I know that they're local, so I grab them and I grill them with all the questions you have. Is it going to be wetsuit legal? Is it a TT bike? What's on the run? What did they feed you? And in this, I'm delighted to have one of the athletes I was delighted to coach a while back, but now he's set up himself up as a new up and coming coach, and he's a top guy. Coach was a coach Bryce from Canada, and he's going to do a little bit of an introduction for himself and tell him a bit about your coaching journey so far, and also how you know Barrelman.
Hey, yes. So I'm Bryce. I live in Niagara, Ontario. So about 25 minutes from the race start, 20 minutes from the race end. Raced this course back in 2023. I've been doing triathlon since 2019. Originally played a lot of football, Canadian football, as an offensive lineman. So I was a good 300 pounder, and then kind of wanted to go in a different direction to slim down, and sort of got into triathlon that way. Since then, had a lot of success at the short course distances. Just had my first top 5 overall on the last weekend in
Nice.
Toronto. I got a 4th place. Lost 3rd place at the 4.2 kilometers into the run, so only 100 meters left. But it was a good day. Been coaching a few athletes. I have one of my athletes doing his first Ironman this weekend in Thun, and coached another one to his first sprint. Another guy I helped bring his marathon time down from 3:24 to 2:55 over the course of about 7 months. And so just sort of working with people how they need to work, and just trying to make sure they can hit what they're already capable of doing, really. So yeah.
Yeah, no, and absolutely, as I said, Bryce is a great guy. He has a real thirst for the sport. He used to grill me an awful lot in the science. He's obviously getting very good at it. So delighted for him. And also, he's allowing people to stay in his house for if anyone does Barrowman, there's a free accommodation. He's only 25 minutes. Joke, joke. Do not hold me to that. Do not. Okay, before I get myself in further trouble, we will move on and we'll dive into the swim course of Barrelman. So, talk to me about this. Now, again, I normally do the Ironman branded stuff, so this is unusual for me. So I'm kind of keen to find out how this works. Talk to us on the course.
So the course, you start over at the Flatwater Center in Welland. It was created back in 2015 for the Pan Am Games, and it is essentially like a open water pool. So it's an old canal system. It's a little branch off the canal that's currently being used, and so like you can see on here, it's 12 and a half meters out. You essentially start right here at the docks. It's an in-water start, so you can either walk in from the end. It's a little like man-made ramp, I guess, like just natural ground with a nice carpet, so you don't have to step on any rocks, or you can just jump in from the docks. But then essentially they go in waves, usually about 30-40 people in one wave. The way that they usually do it is usually top end bibs, so the people that are sort of putting their hands up, hey, I want to go fast, they'll put them first, and you kind of go on those waves. And then you go out. This is usually with a bit of the current. And so I find between starting this and also just sort of with sort of the way you're sort of going along there will be a lane rope if you are going in there. Like I said, this is an open water pool, so you can see the imaginary lines there. Those are actually like rowing boat lanes. So if you are wanting to sort of see, there's not much sighting needed. And on the side, the thing that you can't see here is every about 100 meters or so, there's a marker, like a sign that says this is 100 meters, this is 200 meters, this is 500 meters. So
Brilliant.
the sighting is super easy. You're close to the shore on both sides, so you can kind of gauge where you are that way. Going out is great. Once again, you can kind of see the different buoys. There's the two orange buoys, and then once you get to the green buoy, once again, as I mean, as per always in my experience, I'm assuming it's the same elsewhere in the world. The green buoy is to turn, a little short turn. This can be against the current depending on the day and kind of how the winds are going. And then use this section back. I was looking at my time from 2 years ago when I was doing the full or the half distance versus the long course earlier in the year. I hit a 140 on the way out and a 151 pace on the way back. And so that's just sort of show you the current. And even it was the same thing this year. I forgot to take a look at my time when I did the sprint. It was real slow on the way back. And then you kind of turn it. It's 100 meters, so it's kind of the perfect time. As soon as you hit the edge of that swim buoy, start kicking your legs to get the blood flow back in. It's just sort of a good reminder if this is the time to do it. And then you go. And then, like I said, get to the end. It's right beside the docks, so you're actually looking. There's a tower for the rowers, and it's a great sighting thing because the early morning sun can be kind of bad over there. You're just swimming straight to the tower, and then you are able to sort of swim, and then there's a little carpet, like I said, where the gravel is, over top of the gravel, I should say, that you can walk up. It's a fun run to transition. I know, Steve, you always sort of recommend, and I still do this in my races all the time, grab your cap, grab your goggles, and then sort of pull your wetsuit down half and leave your cap and goggles in the sleeve. So you have a lot of time to sort of do that. There's a quick, when you turn right, that's all flat on a paved pathway. And then the up is actually upstairs. So be a little careful. It's where the transition zone is. It's about like 10 meters up, and that's all like the grandstand for people to watch the rowing races or the triathlons. And so it's just in behind where all the stands are. So yeah, don't gash yourself too much on there, and make sure you know where your bike is in there, because once you get up, that's where the timing chip is for your T1 time to start, and kind of go from there.
And is the standard timing chip? It's on the ankle as well as
Left
okay,
ankle.
cool, excellent. Okay, yeah, I was trying to figure out this, so that makes sense now. It's a rowing arena. Okay, cool.
Yeah, why is there this extra lines? Yeah, no,
Yeah, I
it's
thought
legitimately
like it's
rowing.
almost like sort of
I've
which
almost
lane do
run
I
into
go
a
in?
couple rowboats while like practicing, because I'll go do my when pre kids or even pre second kid, I usually would go out with a group in the mornings on Mondays and Fridays, and also the rowers would be out there. And if you're not paying attention, or we're doing like a triangle or a box, and I'd be like, oh, there's a rower, I need to go.
Yeah, that will teach you how to sight.
Yeah,
End up with a
well.
blade in your head. Okay, cool. All right. No, again, and normally wetsuit legal, as in
Yeah.
when it was you did it with wetsuit
Because
legal.
it's mid September, so the water's warm, but the temperatures are dropping at night. Like even last week was still like 35, 40 degrees here, and then today I'm sending my daughter in a jacket and pants for her little for her excursion at school. So yeah, it's a little chilly, and with the night, the water temps start to come down, so it's comfortable in the wetsuit. My wife would disagree, because anything over 18 degrees, she doesn't want to wear a wetsuit, but I need to go faster. I'm too bad of a swimmer.
Yeah, that's it. You and me both, pal. As we call it, the equalizer. I do like my
Yeah,
wetsuit. I spent a lot of
yeah.
money on that thing. I want those 5 seconds per 100.
Yes, please.
Alrighty. Okay, cool. So in terms of the cutoffs, swim needs to be the actual start time.
Dependent.
I believe what start time. I have to actually get that off the top of my head. But we'll cover that as we go along. So, but there is an actual swim cutoff time by 10:35, and we'll discuss the cutoff times as we go through the race. And that's that. And then we
The swim starts at 8:29 with the elite wave, so usually you'll get a couple of things. I know Andrew Starkowitz was supposed to race here last year, but he ended up getting injured, I believe, and didn't race. But like you've had like Cody Beals, Jackson Landry, a few bigger like Canadian names on the circuit have raced here over the years.
Sarkovic, I haven't heard that name in ages, actually. Like he's some biker.
Yeah,
Oh, you would have loved to race against him.
I would have. I would have gotten killed.
Alrighty, we will talk about our transition now. Okay, so our pink line here, that's our swim start, and that's the pontoon
Yep.
you mentioned. So now we're coming out of the swim. and we're heading up this way. How do they handle transition? Is it a clean transition with the bag system, or is it traditional
It
where they
is.
just have set it up beside the bike? How's that work?
So this one's a 2 point transition. It's a point to point race.
Okay.
So you have two transitions. So you do have the bags. Um, so in here, generally, when you're getting your stuff ready, they'll have a bag for like, hey, here's my change of clothes for after race. You'll have one of those bags. You'll also have a bike to run bag, which you set up. And those bags, those bins are the bottom right. There's those two white areas. I believe those are where those bins. No, to the right, all the way to the right,
Oh, to the right. Oh yeah. Okay.
all the way bottom.
Oh yeah, yeah. Here I am. Yeah. Yeah.
Nope, right, other way.
Ah. Okay. Here.
Yeah, that's the bag drop.
Okay.
So that's where you'll go drop your bags off. Make sure to do that before you're getting going down to the water with your wetsuit. But you can drop your, like I said, bike to run, as well as your like change of clothing bag, and then obviously your swim to bike bag. You'll bring over to your transition area. You can kind of see the different colored system they have for the bike stuff. I believe when I was doing it last couple, 2 years ago, I was kind of in like the greeny yellow area, but I think obviously majority of them are in the blue. But you'll have a designated area based off of your bib number. Um, so yeah, some good stuff there. You'll come up, like I said, up the stairs, and then you just need to go to your spot when you are out of your wetsuit or whatever you're looking at. Make sure to put all your stuff into your bag because when you leave with your bike, they're just going to pick up those bags. You're not necessarily coming back to here. So that's the big thing to know. So pack up all your stuff and then leave. Anything that you leave behind, you will probably lose.
And do you leave that bag at where your bike is racked, or is there a racking system? Okay, cool, cool, cool.
Just
All
leave it
right.
where it is. They'll pick it up and then they put it in a fenced off area over by the race finish.
Okay, okay. So that your bike, your swim to bike bag will be dropped off at the finish. But again, you all you do is you pick up your bike after you got your helmet on, and you run out to run out to the bike exit, and off you go. Okay. Where is our bike exit? We come
The
out.
bike exit is more to the right. Yeah, right there.
Okay, okay.
That white box there. So the bike exits there. It's a bit of a run to the mountain line because it's a bit of a out to the thing. I mean, I generally put my shoes on my bike with the elastic bands and then run barefoot. This you mainly just run on the grass. It's mainly a grass area that they have it in. And then once you get over to the road, it's good. It's not too gravelly, so I haven't had too much of an issue. But I mean, still watch out for the little pebbles.
Okay, cool. Excellent. All right. And again, just as tips for the guys, as a make sure when you're checking in your bike and all the rest, you walk this the night before and all the rest. You make sure you know where that's where you're going to start in the morning. That's where you're, and walk it as in like, because it does look like a long transition. And you don't want to be, and it looks like there's lots of bikes here. Are the big numbers at this race?
I can probably take a look, but I would say it's probably like 1,000 people at it in the past. Maybe a little more when you take a look because they do like the bike or swim bike situation as well. But yeah,
Cool. Excellent. Okay. So again, you need to what you call it, make sure it's very easy to lose your bike and your bearings in a with around 1,000 people run around you. So therefore make sure you walk it, you know you have your inanimate objects if you're beside rack number B here or whatever it is, or beside a tree, and then know where that mount line is and just walk it, take pictures in your smartphone, just be comfortable because you overthink things the night before. Go, oh, what way do I go? But if you've like, okay, there's a picture of the jetty. Okay, I remember that's where I go in.
yep,
This is where I exit out, and that's where my bike is. I feel a little bit. Anything to reduce the pre-race anxiety is a good thing.
yep.
Any other T1 tips for our nervous newbies?
So it is bike rack the day before. And so that will give you a little bit of chance to sort of familiar yourself in here and like you can go down to the water and swim anytime you want, so that works out pretty well too. So the water is pretty like friendly to go into it and do a practice swim the day before, and if you're just new to the area or if you're in the area, go whenever you want. But yeah, like I said, rack the bike the day before and then just walk the area, know what you're doing. Nothing
Fantastic. Know
too
your
crazy.
ins and your outs. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Some great tips there from Bryce already in terms of just getting yourself set up and setting yourself up for success. There's some top tips as well in the comments below for like how to was to find your bike, how to run with your bike with the elastics as Bryce says he does, and he does some pretty speedy transition. So a good tip. Those videos are in the comments below. Okay, right now we'll go on to. Oh, by the way, make sure you. I hope you're enjoying it. Give Bryce a thumbs up for giving your time and his info on this course. If you're thinking about doing other races in Canada or in America or in Europe, even Australia, did Australia, subscribe, and there's loads of videos below. And also, more importantly, if you're looking to get a top coach in Canada who's done these races and has raced in was it North America as well, I have Bryce's contact details in the comments below. Hook him up. He's an up and coming coach. I guarantee you, he will be way harder to get hold of in the next few years when it gets out how good he is. So check him out if you want to get a PB in Barrelman or Musaka or any of your races in Canada or in the world. Comments below. Okay, we will move on. The bike course. Talk to me on this bike course. It is looks pretty flat, or have I
It
got
is
that?
very flat. I love it. I mean, I will say I like a little bit of rolling. I do well with that. So essentially, you'll come out. You can see the start line there. You can see there's a 180-degree turn right when you start that. They love to do that at this venue for some reason. But I guess it kind of thins out people. So perfect time really to get your feet into your shoes and get clipped in. Like it works out well for me when I'm just sort of getting up to speed a little bit. I can do that. I can grab a little bit of drink, finish up my gel, um, do the turn. I usually have my gearing in kind of like middle on the back cogs, and then I have my low gear, my low chain ring up front. That way I can sort of spin around and get the turn pretty easily. And then once I sort of make that 180-degree turn, I turn on the thrusters and sort of jet out. So this is a brand new bike course, I will say, this year as well. It follows a lot of the bike course that it used to, but now there's a two-loop piece to it, which you can kind of see. So you're just going straight down to the Niagara River, and that's the border of Niagara Falls, US, and Niagara Falls, Canada. So you're just going straight there. There's a few little rollers. The roads are in pretty decent condition. There's a few spots that are sort of a little questionable along that first like 25K. And then once you turn to get along the Niagara Parkway, a lot of that was freshly paved in 2024, just like 2 weeks prior to the race. People were freaking out last year about it, which is, I mean, fair. Construction on a major portion of it. So yeah, you'll turn left and you just follow on that freshly paved stuff, and then you go out and then back, and then you can kind of see where you're coming back for that second turnaround point. So I mean, you'll start to get a little more traffic coming into that second turnaround. As you'll get the people sort of either later in the race on the 70.3, or you can even start to see some of the Olympic distance people that start about an hour after the race. They'll be starting to come in there, so expect a little bit more. But the road, it's a full road, so we should have quite a bit of space. All that section is completely blocked off from cars, and it's pretty good. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm doing the Olympic distance in a couple weeks here, and I'm very much looking forward to this new course. And I mean, part of that is because I may have gotten 9 kilometers off course in 2023. There was a sign that was 100% missing, and there was nobody there, and I was the back of a pack of 11 of us. And a couple kilometers in, I realized it was like one turn and then another turn right away, and I thought it was a little bit further, and it's really sad because I live 25 minutes away, so I should have pre-ridden the entire course. I'd done about 90% of it, but I didn't. So I mean, even here, maybe go pre-ride, but you're in a lot better position than I was that year.
Athletes' responsibility. You got a failure to prepare,
Yeah,
prepare to fail. I bet
yeah,
you won't make that same mistake in the Olympic.
definitely not, definitely not. So yeah, like I said, this will be a nice flat and fast course, lots of aero. The aid stations on course, I believe, are water and Gatorade. Oh, F2C, I should know that. They show that sponsor very heavily
Yeah,
around
FTC.
here.
I haven't heard that. Have you tried that
It's a
before?
Canadian brand. I actually, outside of racing, I have not tried it. It didn't seem that bad, but playing football for so long, I am very much in the Gatorade wheelhouse. So I just carry everything on my own. I have 2 bottles on the back of mine. I have a front hydration and a bottle on the thing. So I'm all good.
How do you, do you ever issues with losing the rear bottle on the back? As in, it's a big problem I get from asked a lot in the videos and stuff like that. How do you secure? Because if there even if there's a slight bump, like you end up jettisoning your rear bottle, like what do you do to keep it in was it secured or what?
I've lost my bottles twice. Once was on the weekend. The sprint that I was doing was um, a 4 loop sprint, so it's just 5K loops, and it was super packed. Not a race I probably will do again, but it had also rained torrentially for about 3 hours prior to the race, so it's huge puddles. And at the end of the fourth lap, I was just going into like the finish like line area for the bike portion, and there's this massive puddle. I'd ridden through this section 3 times already, and then I hit this huge pothole in the
There's
middle of the
something in
puddle that I
there,
hadn't
yeah,
seen.
yeah,
And then even though I throw, like I do a little bit of an elastic
yeah.
on the back end, and then I throw that over the spout. And mind you, these elastics I bought like a massive bag, so they're like 2 years old, so they're not as strong as they once were.
Yeah,
And then the bottle it went flying, but luckily when I was going back, I like after the race, I found my bottle on the ground,
oh
so it just
yeah, okay,
stood
okay,
out
that's
there.
all
So,
right.
and that was the same last year. There's one course I did. It was like actual speed bumps to get out of town, and I kind of hit it pretty fast, I guess, and my bottle came out, and I found it post race as well. So I've yet to lose a bottle for it, but I would suggest like a good one. You can also kind of get like the Velcro-y stuff to throw in there.
Yes.
I've heard I have like that makes sense. I haven't had too much of an issue with it though. Like this course is mostly in a good condition, so unless you're like crashing at some point,
Okay.
you're probably not going to lose it.
Yeah, no, you're much better look now. I use it just to use my tools and the back rear, but I'm not overly comfortable reaching back, so I just have tools and spare kit, and
Mm,
I lost it in a 70.3. So like there's the CO2 canisters, there's all the Allen
yeah,
keys, and
it's a little more expensive.
it's worth more than a load of Gatorade. And then
Yeah.
I was going back and I was trying to go, must remember that spot, and I went back, of course, couldn't find it. Okay, so the age stations 35, 55, and 75. That's what you're gonna get.
Yep.
Transition two. I'm trying to think if I've got the right picture up here. Oh no, sorry. And then the cutoff. Here's your bike cutoff times where your T2s. And we are bike must be completed by 20 past 2. So bear that in mind when you
Yep.
start. I'm now trying to think whether I have the right picture for I no, that is a wrong picture for T2 because that's a different T2. T2, what can we expect? And what are your tips on that from Barrelman?
So it's at a park. So you just kind of come in. You're coming in. It's a right-hand turn into the park. The mountain line, I don't believe, is too far from the actual like transition area. So that's kind of nice in comparison to the T1. We're going out of T1. It's like maybe like a 300-meter run over to the mountain line. This one, essentially, it's just down. It's down like a narrow parking area for the park, and so it looks like there's 2 columns of 2 things on each side, so you can kind of run down and know where it is. You just it's obviously labeled by bibs, so usually the front ones are near the front, and then it keeps on going down, so you get a good idea. Your bag will be placed at where your bike is supposed to get racked, so all that's good for you. You kind of go out. Like I said, it's just a long corridor parking lot. So you rack your bike, I'll throw my shoes on, and then I'm just sort of going down out to the run exit on the other side, and then you're just going out onto the run course.
Cool. Excellent. Alrighty. So, and then let's talk a bit about the run course. Some more transition shorts. It is 2 by 2 loop course. What can people expect on this? Um,
So it's a interesting course because it's a lot of undulation in kind of weird ways. So you're running out. You can kind of see there. You kind of go to the start, and then you're kind of running across this like weird pathway that takes you onto the road. And then from there, you're taking the road all the way down. It's essentially like mostly downhill until like that first sort of cut, and then it's a little bit of an incline, and then you're going where that first aid station is. It's the incline up to where that first aid station is, and then you're going down on that, around that circle. So it's a little. There's a really nice Christmas lights decoration there around Christmas time, but that's a little bit uphill, and then down again, and then you turn around. There's and then you're coming back up. You get to hit that first aid station again, and that's all uphill. And then you get like that one section from that 4K mark up until that second road is like a steep incline on the run. And then it levels out to go up on that top road. That is mostly flat. So then you go back, you turn around, and then you're just go running back to the start area. Obviously, there's a little bit of an out and back section right about where that 1K mark is, where you're actually, that's only for like the start and finish, or like the second loop, and then you go back and then you just do that again. I honestly, it's been one of my favorite run courses. Like I'm like when I'm 260 right now pounds, just under like 120 kilograms, and usually I race about like 113-ish and 250 pounds. So I wasn't expecting one that had like this many like sharper climbs to be like a really good run course for me, but I honestly, 2 years ago, I had one of my best runs ever here. It felt really good. The weather, it being like early mid, I guess fully mid September, like it gets hot in the middle of the day still. You start off a bit chillier, but like it's nicely shaded in a lot of the spots, and you do get a pretty decent crowd just outside of Niagara Falls, and people sort of watching and hanging out. So, like I said, one of my more memorable run courses and favorites. So, yeah.
Excellent. And lots of aid stations as well. We've got 4 aid stations out there. Every 2 kilometers, you got your FC glucogen, cooling towels on ice, which is great, flat cola, assorted gels, and a toilet. So you're well covered in the aid stations, which highly recommend you do not miss an aid station, as in,
Yes.
especially you should have been fueling the bike well, but again, now you're making sure you got enough topped up to have a good, strong finish on that second loop. Anything else in the bike course you want to shout out there, Bryce?
Um, Nothing too much on the run course. You can go run these hills pretty regularly. Like it's all just sort of sidewalks with everywhere. So if you are looking to go do it, by all means.
Perfect. Cool. Excellent. And again, your run, so the over second must have started second loop by 10 to 4, and then your final cutoff is at 20 past 5 p.m. Cool. Again, bear those in mind. But also I'm sure you'll be chasing a PB course on that with that night flat course.
Oh yeah.
And what have we got? Okay, so the actual timetable itself. On the Saturday, you can check in your bike and your bags between 10:30 and 3:30. How's that work in terms of the T1 and T2 bags? As in, you obviously have to do T1 and then T2 later during that window, or how does that work?
You get to drop off your bags on the morning of.
Okay. All right. And
So
both
yeah.
yeah, you're dropping off your swim to bike bag and you're at the swim start and then your bike to run in T2, or do they split them for you?
You'll split them up.
Okay. Alrighty, cool, got it. Okay. And transition area closes at 4. Q&A if you got it, and pre-race expo. And the race day itself, transition opens up at 6 o'clock and closes at quarter past 8. And as you said, the elites will start off with your Courtney Beals, etc., and then you guys start off the mere mortals at 8:30 to 9:15, and then we have the actual race course and all that. Anything else that the people? What's your advice for the race day itself? Do you get there early? What's your routine?
So as mentioned here, so there's actually no parking at the venue.
Ooh.
Um, so it is a shuttle service or drop off, I should say, if you have family member. But my wife will not wake up that early to drop me off. So yeah, so you can buy parking either when you first register for the race online, or you can do it in the race register or like the Saturday when you're dropping off your bike. So it's about $10 to pay for the parking. I like to get there and take that 6 a.m. shuttle. That's what I did last time. That is what I will do this time. I like to get there as early as possible, especially because it's a local race for me. So I know a lot of people doing it. So it's nice to have that time to sort of socialize with people, even if you don't know anybody else. I'm sure you'll make some friends and then kind of get a little bit of the water acclimation, and then just get ready to go and kind of settled in. I mean, my nerves, same as when I got married. Once I got to where I needed to go, I was like I was pretty nervous prior to getting to the ceremony, and then once I got to the ceremony, I was pretty happy. And I'm kind of the same way once I get to the race. It's like, okay, I'm here. I have my bike set up. I have my transition area sort of packed up, ready to go. And then like usually that's like an hour before, and then I'm just kind of like chatting with people. I'll do kind of a little bit of a maybe a little bit of jog, maybe a little bit of a swim warm up, and I'm just happy to be there and get going on the day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and again, and getting there early, kind of talking to people and all that. And if something's gone wrong, as in like if you find a flat, you've got some time to fix it and all the rest. And that's
Yep.
for me like the space-time continuum is compressed. If you get there and at what you call it, and you're there at was it 6:30, and you find if a flat, you'll get that fixed, no problem. But if you turn up at 8 o'clock and you've only got half an hour to get it all sorted, you'll feel pressure and you'll lose all that energy, and it's just
Yep.
uh don't do that to yourself. You're gonna set yourself up a much better day. You're not gonna sleep well the night before. Same with
No.
your wedding, Bryce. Um, so
It's
just
all
get
about the
there.
night before, and have a good sleep. 2 nights before. That's when you want to get like your really nice sleep. The night before, yeah, you're good. Easy
That's
boy.
it. And then the day after. Okay, doke. All right. So listen, again, thanks very much to Bryce. If you have any questions, as in do post them in the comments below, and we'll pick them up as we go along. Myself and Bryce do look at the videos and make sure that you guys are covered. But otherwise, what I would like to do is just from myself again and the viewers, thank you ever so much for taking the time, sharing your knowledge. As I said, your enthusiasm for the sport, the racing comes through in the video, and it's great. So again, I will say it a couple of times in the videos. If you are looking for a top coach, a good guy to have in your corner, Bryce is your man. So please do check him out in the comments below. Bryce, any last minute comments for our viewers?
Nope. Make sure have a good day. Enjoy the time. Enjoy your fitness is kind of what I like to say to my everybody around me because can't always do it all the time, but when it clicks, and just ride that wave.
Yeah, absolutely. There will be days in the future when we can't do that. This is not
Yeah.
that day, you know? Perfect. We will leave it there again, Bryce. Thanks a million, and we will cut it there.